man. You already know what it is, man. Johnny the Hitman. Diesel, man. Let's go. Straight to it. But before we get going, come on, man. Subscribe, man. Bloop, bloop. Hit all them buttons, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to 50. Shout out to all the viewers and shit, man. You know, staying tuned, right? You know, fucking with it. You know, again. You know what I mean? Fucking with it. Let's go. So the Northerners, right? The Norteños, right? I know a lot about how they get down, right? And I grew up beefing against them because of Oakland, right? In Oakland, before the Southerners came around, it was nothing but Norteños versus Borderos, right? We went to juvenile halls, to the YA and all that. It was us against Oakland, right? So me being that I was beefing with the Northerners in YA from Oakland, all the other Norteños from the other cities would back them up, right? So that's when the Southerners started backing me up, right? But that's another story, right? So the Northerners, right, from the Bay Area, Fresno, Sac, they have a totally different style than the Northerners from them other cities, right? They're more hip-hop-ish, right? They act black more, right? And they got a more playerism type of get down, right? You know, popping their shit, popping their collar, right? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You know how it be, man. So the Norteños from the Bay Area, right, have a more different style, along with Sacramento and Fresno, right? But then you have Norteños from like Tulare, Salinas, Madera, even up to Merced, right? Merced and Sanger, that's Bulldogs, right? But a lot of the Norteños, like in Early Mark, a lot of the neighboring cities from Tulare County and Porterville, these little cities, right? There's a lot of Norteños there, right? But those are like towns, right? They're not like they're like little farm towns, right? With the population in low in numbers, right? Like Pixley is very small. And there's a bunch of little cities like that all throughout the valley, all throughout the Pixley area, Tulare County. But those Norteños, those Northerners are a little different than the Bay Area ones, right? In Sacramento, right? They don't have, should I say, the fast life finesse, right? They don't know how to spin the words around as good as a Bay Area cat would, right? Or a Sacramento cat, right? It's because there's not a lot of fast life going on down there. They're not living fast right there. You know, it's a slow life type of living. They got the little liquor store, a couple gas stations, and that's it, right? 10,000 people there's not that many people, right? So there's not too much activity going on, right? If put in position to use that thing, come on, there's no suckers there when it comes to that. You know what I mean? Every gang got shooters. We know that, right? So when I was in YA, they would write XIV for a 14, but XIV would only be like the niggas from the Bay. And I think Sac. Yeah, Sac. Like city type of life. That's what I was under the impression that XIV stood for city life, right? And then the 1-4, which is also 14 but spelled out, not in Roman numerals, right? It meant 14, but for like the Farmeros, right? From these small cities, right? Like Salinas is they're kind of city, but they're also kind of farm, right? But they could also be considered a city, but I believe they consider themselves a town, right? Watsonville, shout out to Green Eyes from Watsonville, right? Greenfield, they got King City, they got a bunch of cities out there, but they also have Southsiders over there, Salinas, La Posada, Vagos 13, Watsonville, Poorside, right? But the Northerners from those little small towns, they're a little different than the Bay Area ones, right? Some will even throw jabs at the Bay Area Norteños because of the way they get down. right? They're still more raza oriented in Salinas, Visalia, Delano, Tulare, and all that. They're more raza oriented still, right? They're not. Some of them still got the lingo, got the up north lingo, but it's still a little bit more country down there, lightweight. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's the best way to put it without sounding disrespectful, but I just feel like the Northerners from the Bay Area and Sacramento, Stockton, they're a little bit more advanced when it comes to hip hop grammar, right? When it comes to popping this shit, I feel like the Bay Area, Sacramento, Stockton, Fresno on up, they have a more finesse, right? A more finesse type of get down, right? You know what I'm saying? They're brand newky with the shit, right? They're brand new with the shit, right? Straight up. But yeah, I remember that the 14 would stand for fundamental and the XIV would stand for like a city life type of get down, right? I never went deep into the politics about that, right? But to me, shit, North was North, man. 14 or XIV, there's the same number. Yeah, it's like X3 and then X111, like the Roman numerals, right? Still the same number, right? So I don't know. But somebody in the comment section help me out, man. What's the difference, man? I mean, I know, but I want to see what y'all got to say, man. Anyhow, with that being said, man, you already know what it is, man. John the Hip, man. Diesel, man.